The 17th century has two of the most influential writers in the history of the world. Shakespeare, having written his plays, along with Cervantes, which is Don Quixote, both died in 1615, and while two amazing writers were forever lost, their works of literature continues to live. Additionally, a famous work of literature is of Plymouth Plantation, and it gives us a glimpse of the lives of the pilgrims, seen in this painting, as they traveled to the Dutch Republic and then traveled to Massachusetts and eventually formed a colony. Sam Pepys is a writer that provides invaluable historical accounts because he kept a diary that, among other things, documented the Great Plague of London and the Great Fire of London. History is about understanding the lives of the people who lived during different times, and while knowing that events took place might allow you to imagine what it must have felt like, accounts like this really allow you to enter the mind of someone who lived a life completely different from the one you live. Women began emerging as writers, and Mariana Alforcado was a Portuguese nun. Fierce debate still occurs when talking about whether she was the actual author of the book Letters of a Portuguese Nun, and they recount the passion that was believed to exist between her and her array of lovers. Some argue that Gabriel Joseph de la Vergne was the actual author, but we will never know for sure. Another woman whose writing grew famous was Madame de Sévigné, and while she was a French aristocrat, she was most famous for her clever and witty letters, usually addressed to her daughter. In addition to that, there are of course many metaphysical poets, and arguably the most influential ones were John Donne and George Herbert, that you saw in the movie. In Germany, Gimmelhausen was a writer of adventure novels, and they were to become the most famous books of that period. During the Baroque period, good literature was in abundance. To foreigners and native speakers alike, the German language is one of anger, making it perfect for writing angry prose about the 30-Year War. The works of literature from the 17th century has influenced us ever since, and it will continue to influence us in the future.